the second meeting of experts of the Convention on Conventional Weapons. It's an experts meeting to look at this topic of lethal autonomous weapon systems. The shorthand term that we use in the campaign is killer robots. These are weapon systems that would select and attack targets without any further human intervention.
The current opinion that autonomous weapons are 20 or 30 years away is extremely conservative. Most people I've talked to think that we could pretty much build them right now.
Allowing the world to move blindly in that direction is the start of another weapons revolution, if we want to look at it that way, that should never happen.
I'm here to provide a little bit of technical context to some of the discussions. I am an engineer. My day job, if you might say that, is to develop robotic technology. We do see the potential of robotics for immense good, but we also know that there is a lot of potential for this technology to be misused if it's not properly considered.
My area is artificial intelligence, and they wanted, in some sense, a mini tutorial about what AI really is and how it's relevant to autonomous weapons, what the state of the art is, how it's going to evolve in the future, what's the trajectory of these systems, what are they going to evolve into if there's an arms race, which there undoubtedly will be, and then look at whether we as humans want to live in a world where military systems are autonomous and so fast, accurate, and destructive that humans basically have no life expectancy on the battlefield whatsoever.
We should not allow the creation of weapon systems in our world that on their own are capable of committing murder.
It's a big old multilateral meeting with more than, I think, 80 countries in the room, as well as the ICRC, United Nations agencies, and right down the back you'll find the Campaign to Stop Killer Robots alongside a number of academics who are following the deliberations with great interest.
I'm here today because I'm now doing a PhD on meaningful human control with Article 36. Accountability, proportionality, all these things that actually I'd learnt at Sandhurst. And it was very interesting actually to see that all of that would be completely undone.
I would like to acknowledge the critical role played by civil society, especially the Campaign to Stop Killer Robots and its many constituents in driving international attention to this issue. I wish you a fruitful meeting.
We have already heard from about 50 nations who've put their views on the record now, but you know, there's more than almost 200 countries in the world today. We eventually want to hear from every single nation. It's not something that you can leave up to the great powers.
Most major military powers are moving toward ever greater autonomy in weapon systems, and there are no stop signs in the road.
We have got about 50 campaigners here from about a dozen non-governmental organizations, and many of those NGOs spoke to the plenary yesterday, delivered their key messages to the governments, are asking questions after each of the expert presenters, because we can. This is the treaty meeting that allows civil society in the room, gives us a seat at the table. We can use that nameplate to engage in the meeting. That's one reason why we like coming to the Convention on Conventional Weapons.
Killer robots are another step in what we see as a dehumanizing trend in warfare. The question is, how much time do we have before, like with most disarmament issues, we are too late?
Another big objective of our work this past week and in the weeks leading up has been to generate outside external interest in what is happening here in the conference room in Geneva, and we've done that through a number of new publications that have been launched, and they've attracted a significant amount of media attention, and the media are now asking their governments, what are you doing on this topic?
We hope that states are actually brave enough already at this stage to say that in the end we want to have a ban.
We've tried hard this year to ensure that we can reach out to the maximum number of countries possible, and that is what you do when you have campaigners speaking in Arabic and French and Spanish and Korean and the different languages that are in the room.
My job here is to try to engage all the Latin American governments in this movement.
I'm excited to be here because personally, I feel like I have a lot to contribute coming from Saudi Arabia and the Middle East region. I mean, any new weapon that comes, this is where unfortunately is sort of tested out.
I'm an electronic engineer who used to work with the robots, and I know what will be happen if we give to a machine the capacity to kill. And we don't want that in the future.
In our view, you should come prepared in November to agree to a new mandate that is much more ambitious, that calls for a formal group of governmental experts to carry out the work, setting the stage for agreement at the end of 2016 at the review conference to agree to a formal negotiating mandate. It's this path that would prove the relevance and effectiveness of the CCW, but more importantly, it is this path that would best serve humankind.